The show. I'm hugely concerned, in light of what we've just been talking about there, about things like there's no homes for military veterans, it would seem in some cases, but we do have homes for people who maybe cross in a small boat across the channel. But in a more active serving sense now, how well prepared is our military? Do we need an extra 11.5 billion quid for it?
Well, our military can go and do things, so it can go on expeditions, it can operate. But if you have to put the whole train set together and go off and either be capable of fighting a war or look as if you're capable of fighting a war, then the answer is no, can't do it. And what Ben Wallace is talking about, and remember, this is ahead of the budget on the 15th of March, so there's quite a lot of Whitehall politics behind all of this. But unless the MOD gets those sorts of amounts of money, it can't actually plug the holes in things like support and ammunition and backup. And so we've got very good equipment, but in very, very small numbers. We've got very well-trained troops who will run out of ammunition in a week. So if the whole train set went to fight a war somewhere else in the world, it would lose.
Right, and that is obviously absolutely shocking. However, is this just another stunning lack of foresight? Because for years now, it seems as though we've been chipping away at our own military, putting a lot of our eggs in the big nuclear basket, and lo and behold, something that looks a bit like a conventional war kicks off, and we're knackered, are we?
Well, what the Minister of Defence would say is you've got to be prepared to do everything. So the MOD would argue that we have to have a nuclear deterrent because that is our ultimate guarantee that we would not be invaded. But if you want a force which the rest of the world regards as useful and can serve the interests of the country, take on the king's enemies, then you've got to pay for that as well. And in a sense, the issue is the government keeps making claims that we're a major force in European security. We're second only to the United States in Europe. We can do this, we can do that. And the answer is don't keep claiming that if you can't do it. If we're not prepared to pay to do it, if the public really don't want to spend more money on defence, then stop saying that we can do things that we actually can't do.
Well, I don't think it's that, and that's what winds people like me up, Michael, which is I really don't think it's the British public here going, for example, let's put it this way. If we had a binary vote on this, which is we've got 15 billion quid as a nation, do you want to spend that in foreign aid or do you want to spend that, especially in the current climate, on our own military? I would suspect that the military would win, Michael, don't you?
Quite likely. But the thing is, the public's never been asked. I mean, politicians assume that the public have no appetite to spend more than 2% of our GDP on defence. And in every election, defence is dealt with as a sort of fifth and sixth priority. You know, in an election campaign of 21 days, normally half a day is spent by either party talking about defence. They talk about it and then they move on. And so nobody has actually seriously asked the public how much they think they should sacrifice for defence at a time when our neighbourhood in Europe is getting very, very dangerous.